I had been with Landon for 7 years. Now he's getting married. To a beautiful and well-born Omega. That was supposed to be the natural end of our sugar baby arrangement. But Landon said I could make one last request. Wiping the sweat from my forehead. I struggled to drag my heavy suitcase outside. I froze when I heard that. Ha! No need. Man, we're brothers. Don't be so formal. 1. I found out Landon was getting married from the news on TV. The tall man stood with a smaller, delicate-looking man in his arms. Expressionless as they faced the cameras. Yes. We're getting married. I patiently watched the whole press conference. Then turned off the TV. Right after switching it off, I shivered. A man wrapping his arm around another man's waist still looked a little strange to me. I spaced out for a moment. Then remembered Landon was coming back soon. So I rushed into the kitchen to cook. By the time Landon came home, dinner was ready, 4 dishes and a soup. At the dinner table, I wanted to ask about the engagement. But then I remembered his usual line, "Don't talk during meals or before bed," so I silently kept my mouth shut. In the end, it was him who spoke up first. "What's going on? You're never this quiet during dinner." Taking that as permission, I finally opened my mouth. "Landon, you're getting married?" He nodded. No other reaction. I was totally confused. "What about me?" Landon paused. Looked up at me with a slight frown. "What about you? This has nothing to do with you. You'll still live here. Just like before. I'll set up another place for him." I sighed. I still wasn't used to how ridiculous this world could be. 2. I tried to talk some sense into Landon. "If you're getting married, then you should cut things off with me completely. You can't do this to the guy." Landon frowned. Clearly not understanding. "What do you mean? You're leaving me?" Realizing he was about to go full domineering CEO mode, I quickly tried to calm him down. No. I mean, me being here would seriously affect your marriage. And your marriage isn't just about the two of you, it's between 2 companies. You've got to be careful." That actually got through to him. His frown slowly relaxed. "You've got a point." I was just starting to feel relieved when he suddenly changed tone. "But I don't want to be apart from you." "Ha! So you like me?" That question made Landon completely freeze. It took him a while before he finally said, "You're my Omega." I waved that off like it was nothing. "Come on. That doesn't mean much. You never gave me a permanent mark anyway." We stared at each other. He looked frustrated and uneasy, while I stayed completely calm. "Still no. I don't agree to this." Knowing nothing productive would come from arguing, I just pouted and shut up. He might not agree, but plenty of others would. 3. That night, for some reason, Landon was unusually clingy. He didn't even shower, just insisted on staying close to me. I was exhausted and didn't bother asking why. The next day, he wanted to call in sick, but I kicked him out. Go make money. A real man should have goals. You get it? Landon buttoned up his shirt slowly with a sour expression, struggling to get one done right. I got annoyed watching him and pulled him over, quickly fastening it myself. Don't throw a tantrum. Go to work. You're still young, don't waste your time on stuff like this. His face got even darker as he sulked out the door. If it weren't so off-brand for his usual bossy image, I'd swear he was about to look back 3 times before leaving. After I got up, washed, and got dressed, I headed out. Of course, I wasn't going to work. I was going to visit Landon's parents. Before entering the house, I made sure to stomp my feet so the soles of my shoes would be soft and quiet enough. Sure enough, once I stepped in, no one offered me a seat. I just stood in the living room alone. Bored. staring at the tips of my shoes. 4. About an hour later, Landon's mother finally came out. "What are you doing here? I'm pretty sure you don't want the world finding out that your soon-to-be-married son has a hidden lover and an illegitimate relationship on the side." God. That sounded like something out of an old soap opera. Guess I've really absorbed the flavor of this world. "What do you want?" The woman, who had been looking at me like dirt, finally furrowed her brows and deigned to look me in the eye. "Have Landon kick me out and set me up with a job. That's it?" She seemed a little surprised. Honestly, so was I. Too little? Then how about 5 million? You're shameless. There it was, she just had to get that insult out to feel better. Ha! I played along. Okay. Make it less. I'm flexible. In the end, we settled on, Landon kicks me out. And she gives me 4,050,000. Satisfied, I left with the bank card. Aside from my feet being sore from standing so long, I'd say the trip was quite fruitful. Now, I just had to wait for Landon to kick me out. 5. She was hard to talk to, but her efficiency wasn't bad. That same night, Landon didn't come home. He just called around 10 and told me to go to bed early. I cheerfully played dumb and texted back, "Good night." But what I didn't expect was that Landon didn't come home for a whole week. Is getting dumped really that hard for him to accept? When I finally saw him again, he had injuries on his face and looked like a mess. The moment we walked in, the housekeeper who came with him immediately started packing up my stuff. I knew what was happening, so I didn't yell or make a scene. Instead, I gently touched the wound on his face. "What happened? Does it hurt?" He lowered his head and didn't respond. My things were packed quickly. Just one big suitcase to hold all traces of my 7 years here. I struggled to move the suitcase and followed the person who came to lead me out. Then suddenly, Landon spoke up. "Do you want anything else? You can ask me for one more thing." 6. I froze for a second, then grinned. "Ha. Nah. It's fine. We're bros. No need to be polite." Yeah. To be honest, I never really thought of Landon as some alpha lover. To me, he's more like a really dependable bro who's helped me out a lot. Because truth is, I'm not a real Omega born in this world. I used to be just an ordinary man. Maybe God took pity on me, a 28-year-old single IT guy with zero dating prospects, and tossed me into this world where apparently, if you're not in love, you're basically doomed. And in this world, it's not just men and women who date. Men date men. Women date women. God. I get it. You want me to fall in love. But did you have to make it this wild? Oh. And here, people aren't just divided by gender. They're categorized as alpha, beta, or omega. Sure. I'd used those words before, in personality tests. Wolf pack references. Whatever. Never thought I'd be living them. When I first arrived, I was totally clueless and too scared to let anyone find out. So I just tried to learn everything from other people's gossip and offhand comments. Luckily, the me in this world was supposedly a quiet guy who stuttered a lot. So nobody expected much conversation. Most of the time, I just stood on the sidelines, eavesdropping or letting people talk down to me. What I didn't expect was that people here were straight up insane. 7. I didn't fully realize it until I found myself lying on a strange bed, head spinning and body burning up. That's when it hit me. I, an adult man, had been drugged. My body didn't feel like mine anymore. Everything around me was spinning. Before I blacked out completely, I caught a strong whiff of alcohol, hard liquor. It made me even dizzier. I reached out and grabbed a piece of fabric. Help. Help me. When I woke up, My whole body ached like I'd been run over. Bones creaked with every move. I stumbled to the bathroom. After cleaning up and coming back out, I saw there was a man still sleeping on the bed. That must have been the guy I grabbed last night. Right on cue. He woke up slowly. And wow! This dude was seriously good looking. I couldn't help it, I patted his shoulder like a bro. Thanks for last night. Man. If you ever need anything, I got your back. He gave me a cold glance but didn't say a word. Right then, the door burst open and in flooded a group of camera-wielding reporters. They clicked their shutters so fast I froze on the spot. But the guy in bed? Totally calm. He sat up, shirtless, and walked straight into the bathroom. I stared at the crowd. They stared back. Finally, someone asked, "Hunter, are you publicly going against your family now? Hunter, what's your relationship with that alpha? Hunter." Their questions were buzzing in my ears. I raised my hand and blurted out, Okay. Can you chill?" So I slept in the same bed with the guy, big deal. 8. For a second, the room went silent. Then they all gasped at once. And the shouting got worse. I couldn't take it. I shoved my way out and ran. When I got home, I found all my things had been tossed outside, scattered on the ground. The old guard at the gate looked at me like I was trash. He sneered and said in a sharp voice, "Hunter says the family has no place for shameless Omegas like you. Find somewhere else." I stood there in the cold, stunned. The whole scene felt just like some cliché soap opera. Except I'd somehow become the disgraced Omega. As one of the most unwanted illegitimate kids. I was broke. I barely had enough to pay rent, let alone feed myself. I tried getting a job. Anything to survive, but even construction gigs turned me down. No company was allowed to hire me. 9. Just when I had no idea what to do, I ran into Landon again. Yeah, that Landon. The guy who helped me out that night. Only our reunion wasn't exactly sweet, it almost turned into a crime scene. His car nearly hit me. But once I stood up and saw his face, I actually felt touched. Oh my God. Bro. How do you always show up when I'm in trouble? Are you my guardian angel? He just gave me a cold look and started to leave. So I immediately dropped to my knees and hugged his leg. Bro. Come on. Help me out one more time. Be a good guy till the end. Landon still looked cold. His voice flat. I'm not your brother. Yeah. No kidding. Fine. I'll call you bro anyway. Alright? Just help me one more time. I swear I'll work like a mule for you. I was out of options. Landon was literally the only person in this world who'd shown me even a shred of kindness. No way I was letting go of that lifeline. He stared at me, frowning, clearly confused by my behavior. 10. I can do housework. I can cook. I can warm the bed. I looked at him with pleading eyes, rambling off every skill I had. We stood there on the street in a weird standoff until his secretary spoke up. Sir. The banquet is about to start. We need to go. Landon's brow furrowed even deeper. The secretary, clearly nervous, added, This time, you have to show up. Your parents are very serious about this engagement. Landon closed his eyes, clearly frustrated. Got it. Watching them both, I suddenly had an idea. Smart as I am, I leaned in and whispered in Landon's ear. You don't want to go through with this engagement, right? I can help. I stared at him, eyes full of hope. He looked skeptical. You? Help how? I can pretend to be your Omega. I even know the symptoms of Omega pregnancy, I can fake it so well. He still looked doubtful. So I impulsively grabbed his hand. Just trust me once. Okay. I swear I'm worth it. Bro. Fine. One chance. But if you mess this up. If I mess up. I'll kneel and apologize while spinning in circles. That's not necessary. Boom, long-term meal ticket. Secured. I was so thrilled I practically bounced into his luxury car, waving for him to hurry. Come on. Let's go. 11. In the car. We quickly shared basic info. Then he took me shopping for new clothes. As I ran my fingers over the soft fabric, I couldn't help but marvel. Landon kept glancing at me, like he wanted to say something but didn't. I just grinned at him. Dude. This stuff feels amazing, looks great too. I've never worn anything this nice before. He hesitated. Then said. If you do well today, I'll get you a few more sets. No kidding. You're seriously a good guy. When we arrived, he got out first. I, on the other hand, dropped my carefree act and shrank next to him, gently tugging at his sleeve. Feeling his gaze on me, I reminded him. Hey. Remember. I'm supposed to be your fragile little Omega lover who hasn't even met your parents yet. You're supposed to be sweet to me. He paused. Then awkwardly took my hand. Oh, come on. We're not teenagers in a high school drama. I rolled my eyes and yanked his arm around my waist. He flinched like I burned him. I hissed through my teeth. Babe. Hold me properly. Would you? What? Are we some scandal you have to hide? That word, babe, clearly short-circuited him. His pupils even dilated. But after a beat, he pulled me closer into his arms. Now that's better. I returned to my role, eyes wide like a startled bunny, nervously taking in the surroundings. 11. When we entered the room. Wow. What a mix of shapes and sizes. If it weren't for my current status as Landon's boyfriend, I might have been dazzled. But Landon remained calm and steady, calling out to the person sitting in the middle of the sofa. Mother. I'm here. The woman in the center was elegant and well-maintained. She lifted her eyes and gave a faint then shot a sharp glance at me. Landon. Who is this? I quickly forced a smile and cheerfully replied. Auntie. Hello. I'm Hunter. Landon's boyfriend. The woman didn't immediately respond. Instead, she scanned me up and down several times. Her look wasn't friendly, it felt more like she was inspecting merchandise than a person. After a while, she said coldly, Landon. You're causing trouble again. So high and mighty, she neither respected me nor Landon. Landon seemed used to it, replying calmly and without lowering himself. Mother. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I already have an Omega. As for this arranged marriage, I must decline. Man. Their conversation sounded like a cheesy primetime soap opera. Should I laugh or what? The woman was clearly angry now, slamming the table hard. Rogue. Who gave you the right to refuse this? Kneel. Seriously? There were people everywhere. And Landon's no kid, make him kneel? Landon knelt. I knelt too. I don't know why. But the moment Landon went down, my legs went weak too. Maybe because of our brotherly bond, I didn't want him to be so embarrassed. Or maybe I was just getting into the role. 12. As we obediently knelt, the floor thudded twice, once for Landon, once for me. Landon glanced at me. On impulse, I mouthed, It's okay. I'm with you. Seeing us both kneel, the woman got even angrier. She grabbed a teacup from the table and threw it at me. I was caught off guard. But Landon blocked it from me. True man's man. Brother among brothers. I was moved and determined to play my part well. I grabbed the man in front of me and shouted without holding back. We truly love each other. Please bless us. A bit cheesy. But it worked. The woman who'd been sitting on the sofa finally stood up, losing some of her grace. Some nameless Omega comes into our home preaching true love. Do you think I'm stupid? Forgive me. I don't watch many soap operas and couldn't fully grasp the meaning behind her words. I just blankly, and with full confidence, replied. I do have a name. It's Hunter. Then I noticed people around trying not to laugh. And Landon looking speechless. Oh. She meant I was unknown in the upper social circles. Not famous. Awkward. Feeling embarrassed. I quietly apologized to Landon. Sorry. I'm a bit naive. He shook his head, signaling it was fine. Then helped me up. Mother. Our love is real. And he's already carrying my child. Whoa. That kid's coming fast. I hurriedly covered my stomach, weakened, and leaned into Landon's arms. Landon's mother looked visibly upset. She was about to say something when I suddenly cried out. Landon. My stomach hurt so much. I dramatically grabbed Landon's collar, tears streaming. Landon acted even better, sweeping me into a Princess Carrie. And as we left, he didn't forget to say, Mother. We're leaving now. The engagement can be called off. 13. He carried me to the car gently and carefully set me down. After the car left the estate, my expression softened and I wiped away my tears. Landon asked, Need to go to the hospital? I patted my belly and smiled at him. What hospital? There's nothing in there but air. I'm perfectly healthy. Then let's go eat. What do you want? So on point. I nearly had stars in my eyes. Anything is fine. Though I said that, sitting in a fancy restaurant made me a little nervous. Places like this never serve enough. Right? Sure enough. The dishes came in tiny portions. I didn't dare eat too fast, afraid I'd miss a bite stuck in my teeth. I really wasn't full. But I didn't want to say anything, after all. This place was ridiculously expensive. I finished eating faster than Landon and watched him eat eagerly, even though my stare was pretty obvious. Landon ate slowly and gracefully. He didn't forget to check on me. Full yet? Want some more? I shook my head, very insincerely. I thought, maybe I'll sneak out tonight for some street barbecue. 14. Knowing I had nowhere to live, Landon took me to his place. Pick any room you want. You might need to help me out with things like today in the future. I patted my chest, signaling it was no problem. So I naturally moved in. At midnight, hunger woke me up. I sneaked downstairs, focused on finding a nearby place to eat. Damn. Not a single food stall anywhere. I was so focused that I didn't even notice someone approaching. I bumped my head on a solid chest and stumbled back a few steps, confused. I rubbed my forehead. It was Landon blocking my way. His face was stern, and his brows furrowed, making him look a little fierce. What are you doing? I stammered, unable to explain. How could I say I wasn't full after dinner? That had hurt his feelings. Can't sleep. Can't sleep. Or something's on your mind. Hunter. Stop pretending. Admit it. You're okay. I admit it. I really wasn't full after dinner. But I appreciate you inviting me. And it was delicious. I just have a big appetite. Sorry. Turns out he already guessed. Damn. My ungrateful stomach is so embarrassing. My face felt hot. I didn't dare look up at Landon's expression. You just got up because you were hungry. Yeah. I looked up at him. And in that glance we both realized there'd been a misunderstanding. You don't think I got up late at night to steal your secret files or anything? Do you? Are you really up just to eat? Yes. Really? Right on cue. My stomach growled, giving me all the confidence I needed. See? Even if I lie. This can't. 16. The misunderstanding cleared up. I lost the urge to go out hunting for food. Instead, I rummaged through the kitchen and cooked some noodles with eggs. While eating, I complained to Landon. You say you suspect me of something. But I'm all alone, everyone avoids me. Even if I had any info, there's no one to give it to. Besides, why would I sell your news to others? Just holding onto your big thigh is enough to keep me living well. Thank you very much. Slurping the noodles with delight, I completely lost myself in the pleasure. After eating my fill, I patted the table and declared to Landon, don't worry. As long as you keep feeding me soup and meat, I'll never betray you. Landon looked at me helplessly, then quickly turned his gaze away, as if he couldn't bear to watch. Such ambition. Hee hee. By the way, your noodles smell amazing. Can I have another bowl? Go ahead. Eat as much as you want. All right then. What about you? Want some more? Me? He looked at me, puzzled, like he didn't understand why I asked. Yeah. I saw you didn't eat much tonight. Want more? Always eating too little can cause stomach problems. How do you know I have stomach problems? Turns out I really do. I waved my hand like an expert, full of authority. Hey. 9 out of 10 CEOs have illnesses. One of them's crazy. The other 8 have stomach problems. That's just the rule. Where'd you get that rule? Is there any science behind it? Nope. All experience. I'll order some for you. If you can't finish it, I'll eat it. Deal? Before he could answer, I ordered 2 servings. I'd been starving for days, couldn't stop eating. Landon stood beside me, watching as I stuffed ingredients into the pot. Will it be tasty? Guaranteed. Confident. I kept adding stuff and occasionally bragged about my survival skills to Landon. Landon looked intimidating, but talking and acting, he was like a robot, methodical, following rules, running on some kind of program. Kind of interesting. Actually. 14. In the end, I didn't get a single bite of noodles from Landon. He didn't even save me any broth. But looking at the clean bowl bottom, I felt a bit proud. See? My cooking skills are that good. Even my gaze toward Landon softened. I smiled, resting my chin on my hand, watching him. So full now. Was it delicious? He was still so methodical. Yeah. Delicious. I raised an eyebrow, feeling quite pleased. But I didn't notice that Landon's gaze lingered on me unusually long, focused in a way that was different. 17. Later, Landon's mother sent someone with a message. Playing around with that Omega is fine. And the child can enter the family tree. But the arranged marriage must proceed. No excuses. I pursed my lips, a million times unwilling. I even hugged Landon in front of the messenger. Landon, are you just playing with me? Say something. Husband. The messenger's pride faded, and they pretended to look around nervously. Landon indulgently patted me. I'm not just playing. Don't overthink it. The messenger tried to warn. You should understand this is your duty as the heir. You can't avoid it. Landon put on a cold expression, somewhat chilling. This isn't your place to talk. Leave. After the messenger left, I got off Landon and looked worried. What do we do? The child's not even real. We can't keep this up forever. Well, it could be real. What? I didn't hear that. Nothing. I mean, let's take it step by step. 18. When Landon said take it step by step, I didn't realize then that this would mean 7 years. During that time, I became pregnant 26 times and had miscarriages 27 times. I told Landon this method wouldn't work forever. For 7 years, I stayed by Landon's side. We got along really well. Even my heat and his susceptibility phases could help each other out. I'm truly grateful to him. Without him, I couldn't imagine having that kind of relationship with any other man. Though Landon was a bit old-fashioned and had CEO quirks, he was kind, gentle, and generous. He provided me with work and a place to stay and taught me how to survive better in this world. But all that was temporary. As Landon approached 30, he couldn't avoid the arranged marriage fate. Actually, before the marriage, he hinted at it. He was gently touching my belly, eyes focused. And I was worrying for him. What do we do? We really can't dodge this one. If you don't marry, all your years of work at the company will be for nothing. He kept stroking my stomach without blinking. There is a way. You have a real child. I knocked his hand away, thinking he was joking. You say that lightly. You know, if someone's willing to have a child with another, it means they really love them. But I don't love you. And you don't love me. How could I really have a child with you? His hand slowly left my belly, and he rested his head on my knee. After a long pause, he repeated my words. Yeah. You don't love me. There was something strange about him. But I couldn't say what. I just murmured along. Yeah. Don't love. 16. Landon finally accepted the arranged marriage fate. And I moved out of his place. Looking back as I left, I felt a little dazed. 7 years, that was such a long time. And just like that, it ended lightly. The movers were calling me back to reality. And without hesitation, I got into the car leaving. Just 7 years, what's that in the span of 10 lifetimes? Landon didn't come out to see me off. And I didn't wait for him either. From then on, no matter where life took us, it was better we remained strangers. 18. I used the money I had to buy a place, plus the wages I'd saved over the years. It would keep me afloat for a while. I quit working at Landon's company and planned to rest for a bit. But every time I set down 2 servings of food, every time I left space for another in the closet, every time I slept on the inside edge and woke up instinctively reaching out for someone next to me, I had to admit, I wasn't used to living alone anymore. Sometimes, craving a snack, I'd open my contacts and tap Landon's number pinned at the top. Then remember, I couldn't just call him and ask him to bring me food anymore. To distract myself, I got a dog and a cat to fill the emptiness in my life. I was happy when they first arrived. But when I subconsciously wanted to send their photos to Landon, I got upset again. I angrily turned off my phone and decided to keep a diary to record happy moments. But writing soon turned into, the little cat and dog are really cute. If Landon were here, would he like them? He's always so calm. Never excited or upset. I wonder if his fiancée ever makes him emotional. Humph. But if his fiancée can make him a little happier, that would be good. I wonder what he's doing now. Sigh. I miss him. I really miss Landon. When I came back to myself, my notebook was filled with his name. My gaze fell on the last line. I miss him. I really miss Landon. And before I knew it, tears fell. I discovered, and couldn't deny it anymore. It was over. I was in love with him. 19. The first New Year I spent alone after leaving Landon. I put up the couplets myself and made dumplings. Sitting on the couch watching the New Year's gala, the cat and dog curled up beside me. I told myself I was already very happy. Suddenly, Fireworks started outside. Excited, I got dressed, took the cat and dog, and went downstairs to watch. The fireworks were not far from where we lived, clear and beautiful. I looked up at the fireworks, then down at my phone. Still no New Year's greeting from Landon. I pressed the phone, feeling a mix of emotions I couldn't quite name. After the fireworks ended, I walked back with the cat and dog, and unexpectedly found a pile of New Year's supplies at the door, along with a card. Happy New Year. No signature. I sent the cat and dog inside first, then stood by the door. If you don't come out to see me, we'll never see each other again. The hallway light flickered on and off. Between the light and dark, I wasn't sure what exactly I was holding on to. Luckily, after a few moments, Landon finally came down the stairs. But I just glanced at him and turned to open my door to go inside. He called out hastily, "Hunter." I coldly looked back at him. Just like he always was, calm and unreadable. "What do you want?" "I don't know. I missed you." I said nothing, copying his emotionless expression. He stepped forward, grabbed my sleeve, head lowered. "I don't know what's wrong with me, Hunter." I called off the engagement and told my parents I don't want the heir's position anymore. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I just want to be by your side. I want to be with you for the next 7 years. 17 years. 70 years. Hunter. Hunter. He called my name over and over, as if it could calm him down. But I still turned and opened my door. "But Landon, even if we are good brothers, we can't be together forever. Since you chose the arranged marriage and gave me up, it must have been after deep consideration. Don't regret it lightly. Otherwise, I'll only feel like I'm just an optional backup for you. Go back. We've come this far. But in the end, we just missed our chance." 20. I opened the door, and he reluctantly let go of my hand. "You're right. Sorry. I disturbed you." For a moment, he became that calm, unruffled CEO robot again. I went inside and closed the door, sliding down slowly against it. "Go back, Landon. What you need isn't a clumsy, slow-witted lover. What you need is resources, support, a marriage that brings you real benefits." I admit, I missed him. But the moment he said those words, my heart ached more than it longed. He was blinded by a moment of dependency, but I saw clearly. He was going off track. But I'm not where he's meant to go. 21. Feeling awful, I dragged my tired body to clean up the mess. My eyes landed on the pile of New Year's supplies Landon had brought. I hesitated. I knew I had to throw them away, but I wanted to see what that little robot had sent. My favorite snacks, clothes that fit, and the thermal leggings I never really liked wearing. There was even a note. "You should still wear your thermal pants. It's cold. And you always try to be tough." So plain. But I could almost see his slightly furrowed poker face in front of me again. I couldn't help but curl the corners of my mouth. Then I scolded myself for being soft already. Better to just throw everything away so I don't regret it later. I sneaked the note aside and took all the gift boxes downstairs to the trash bin. Even after doing what I needed to, sitting back home felt empty inside. The dog and cat quietly settled down, sensing my mood. But after a while, the dog started barking loudly on the balcony. Worried, I went to check. It was fine but kept barking toward a spot outside. The snow was falling heavily, and I couldn't see clearly, only a vague figure standing there. 22. Maybe that person saw me too, because they turned and left. I felt uneasy, worried it might be a thief. So I followed their direction toward the kitchen. Looking out the kitchen window, I saw the person stop by the trash bin. Next second, they reached straight into it. A feeling hit me. Without thinking, I ran downstairs without even putting on proper clothes. By the time I got there, the person was holding a gift box. From the height, I knew who it was. I ran over and grabbed him. Landon, are you crazy? Digging through trash. So dirty. Half covered in snow. He looked at me sluggishly. I just wanted to see if you took the things I gave you. If not, I'll buy you new ones tomorrow. Frustrated, I patted his face with both hands, trying to wake him up. Are you frozen, stupid? Why are you so stubborn? Landon replied oddly. Your hands are cold. Go back inside. Don't catch a cold. I was even more annoyed. You can tell if I'm cold. You're almost a snowman yourself. You know. He didn't argue, just kept urging me. Go back. You'll get sick. I crossed my arms and glared at him angrily. He tried to reach for me but hesitated halfway. Then pulled back. He awkwardly wiped his hands on his coat twice. My hands are dirty. I can't touch you. Go back. I'll leave now and won't bother you. He turned and walked off. Stumbling a bit, clearly frozen. I grabbed his arm. Feeling helpless. Where are you going? Landon. You really don't know how to comfort someone. Do you? 23. He looked back at me. Confused but hopeful. He didn't avoid my gaze. Just stared straight at me. When two people look at each other like that, the one who falls first usually surrenders quickest. I sighed, deciding to give in to my feelings for once. But before I spoke, he said, Hunter, can I kiss you? I stared at him in disbelief. That wasn't something he would normally say. He pressed his lips together. Seeming surprised, he said it too. Sorry. I said that without thinking again. No hesitation, I lifted my chin and pressed my lips to his. First, my lips met the cold snow. Then his cool lips. A quick touch. Then we pulled apart. Remember, let your actions be quicker than your words. Only then can you catch someone. Got it? Whether he could catch others, I don't know. But he caught me. Who knew I'd have to teach the one I liked how to chase me? 24. But he learned quickly. He opened his coat and wrapped me inside. Then kissed me. He carefully warmed my lips with his first. Then, cough cough, went a little beyond just a simple kiss. When it ended, I rested my head against his chest, catching my breath. Then, unexpectedly, he asked, Hunter, have you lost weight? Are you skipping breakfast again? I gave him a sideways glance, a little annoyed at how clueless he was about feelings. I pulled away from his arms and walked toward the lit hallway. No footsteps followed. I looked back, he was still standing by the trash bin. His clothes were messy from me, and snow covered him like he'd been abandoned. I sighed and called out. What are you standing there for? Come on. Let's go home. 25. He almost ran over to me. Are you calling me? Can I come in? What? You think my place is too small for you? Well, it is smaller than yours. But Landon, if you're willing to move in, I think it's good enough to be our home. What do you think? I pretended to sound casual but was actually a little nervous. My palms sweating. Landon snapped back to reality and took my hand, also seeming a bit tense. So, we can have a home together? Of course. We can. Epilogue 1. In the arranged scenario, I end up in a complicated relationship with Hunter because of a setup. He threatens me to be his protector, and I use him to fend off the marriage pressure. He chases me relentlessly because of my status. And I grow more and more annoyed with him. In the end, overwhelmed, I accept the arranged marriage my parents set up and eventually fall in love with my Omega wife. But even though things played out as planned, I still want to ask, what is love? Standing next to my fiancé, I can't help but think about Hunter. What is he doing? Is he doing okay? Is he eating well and keeping warm? Is anyone bullying him again? Am I really in love with my fiancé? I don't know. I sifted through past moments. I remembered Hunter threatening me to be his protector. He was ridiculously fake crying then. But I also saw his thin clothes and pale face. 2. I remembered how proud and alive he looked when blocking my arranged marriage. I remembered his careless, carefree attitude. I remembered how he always waited for me to come home. I remembered how, when I tried to agree to my parents' plan to kick him out, I habitually called to inform him. He didn't know anything and cheerfully said goodnight. Because of that goodnight, I inexplicably refused my parents' order. I remembered him touching my wounds, asking if it hurt. I remembered the last time I had to part from him, and what I instinctively said. What else do you want? You can ask for one more thing. Honestly, at that moment I thought, if he said he wanted me, I would leave everything behind and go with him. But he didn't want me. And without hesitation, he left. Whether I love Hunter, I still can't decide. But I think Hunter probably doesn't love me. After he left, I didn't bother him, because I thought he probably didn't want to see me anymore. Still, I kept accidentally going near his place. Sometimes I'd see him walking the dog, sometimes he played with the cat. The more I watched, the more I couldn't help but think, if only I weren't Landon. I'm no main character, without advantages, forced to live by the script. I'd rather just be Hunter's little dog or cat. No worries. Just belonging to him and staying by his side. I can't figure it out. The more I watch him, the stronger the urge to go to him grows. So I betrayed the script. My heart followed Hunter once. I still don't know what love is. But I think, through all the years with Hunter, I'll understand. End.